My beloved child, I need you to mark the time right now. Look at the clock on your phone, on your wall, wherever you see the time. Write it down if you need to. Because in 60 minutes, 1 hour from the moment you are reading these words, something is going to happen that you did not plan, that you did not arrange, and that will carry within it the signature of my love and my specific attention to your life. Someone is coming to you with a surprise, not a small, casual gesture. A surprise that is designed to shift something in your life, emotionally, spiritually, practically, or all three at once. I am not speaking metaphorically. I am speaking with the precision and the specificity of a God who controls the timing of every event, and who has ordered this specific moment in your life down to the hour. I need you to hear something before we go further. This surprise is not random. Random things do not happen in the life of a child of God who is actively believing and walking in faith. Everything in your life is governed by my purposes, guided by my love, filtered through my wisdom. The surprise that is coming in the next hour is the result of a divine arrangement, an orchestration that has been in process for a season, that has involved movements in the spiritual realm, arrangements in the hearts and circumstances of people, the removal of obstacles and the creation of openings. You are not about to receive a coincidence. You are about to receive a divinely timed gift that I have specifically prepared for this exact hour of your life. Are you ready? Chapter 1. The God who works in hours, not just seasons. My beloved child, I want to establish something in your spirit before we go further. I am a God who works in hours, not just in seasons. The world teaches patience with the implicit suggestion that divine movement is always slow, that faith is mostly waiting, and that answers always come after a long testing period. And while patience is genuinely valuable, and seasons of preparation are genuinely necessary, I do not want you to leave this message thinking that all my responses are slow. They are not. I am the God who parted the Red Sea in a moment. I am the God who healed 10 lepers on the spot. I am the God who filled a widow's empty vessels with oil, not over years of miraculous trickle, but in one afternoon. I am the God who, when the appointed hour arrives, moves with a speed and a completeness that takes the breath away. The appointed hour for the surprise I am sending you is the next 60 minutes. And 60 minutes is all the time I need to initiate the most significant surprise of your recent life. Think about the times in your life when heaven moved quickly, when a prayer was answered almost before it was fully formed, when a door opened so fast that you barely had time to believe it was real before you were walking through it. Those moments exist in your story. They may be small memories now, overshadowed by the longer seasons of waiting. But they are there, and they prove that I know how to move quickly when the time is right. The time is right now. The 60 minutes have begun. And what is coming towards you in the next hour is the evidence that I am as capable of swift blessing as I am of patient preparation. Write in the comments right now. God moves in hours. My surprise is arriving in the next 60 minutes. I am ready. Say those words aloud and set your spirit in a posture of active, watchful, hour-specific expectation. Not vague hope, specific, timed, alert expectation. The surprise is coming to a person who is watching for it, who is aligned with it, who is ready to receive it the moment it arrives. Chapter 2. Who is coming to you and why? My beloved child, let me tell you about the person who is going to surprise you in the next hour. Not a name or a face, because the recognition needs to come naturally when the moment arrives, but a description that will help you identify them when they appear and receive them with the wisdom and gratitude the moment deserves. This person has been thinking about you, not idly, not as one of many thoughts that pass through the mind and leave no trace, but with intention and purpose. They have been carrying something for you, a word, a gesture, a resource, an expression of love or appreciation or divine guidance, and they have been waiting for the right moment to bring it to you. The right moment in the economy of heaven is now. The prompting they have been feeling, to reach out, to give, to speak, to show up, has been growing stronger in the last few days or hours, and today it will be too strong to resist. That is my spirit at work in them, ensuring that what has been prepared reaches you at the appointed hour. This person may be someone close to you, someone in your family or your inner circle whose presence is familiar, but whose gesture today will be surprisingly specific, surprisingly well-timed, surprisingly resonant with something you have been praying for or hoping for. Or this person may be someone less expected, an acquaintance whose gesture surprises you because you did not realize you had registered that deeply in their life. Or this person may be someone you have not seen in a significant amount of time, whose reappearance today carries the weight of divine appointment. Regardless of who they are, the surprise they bring carries something from me. I have put it in their hands. I have moved in their heart to give it. And when it arrives, when the call comes, or the door knocks, or the message appears, or the meeting happens, recognize it. Receive it with both hands. Let the gratitude you feel be both for them and for the God who moved through them to reach you. Comment below. Someone is coming to me in the next hour with a surprise from God. I am watchful, grateful, and ready to receive. Declare your readiness and your watchfulness. Let the atmosphere of alert expectation around your life signal to heaven that the receiver is ready and the channel is open. Chapter 3. What the surprise will give you. My beloved child, surprises from God are never arbitrary. They are always specific, calibrated to meet a specific need, address a specific wound, answer a specific prayer, or create a specific opening. I want to tell you what the surprise that is coming in the next hour is specifically designed to give you so that you receive it in the full dimension of its meaning. The surprise is designed to give you hope, not the fragile, conditional hope that depends on circumstances staying favorable, but the robust, anchored, spiritually grounded hope that comes from experiencing, once again, the personal and specific love of God. The surprise will be evidence, tangible, irrefutable, personal evidence, that you are not forgotten, that I see you, that the waiting has not been silence, but preparation, that heaven is active in your life, even in the moments when it feels most distant. When the surprise comes, let it do its full work in your spirit. Let it revive the hope that may have grown tired. Let it be the sign you needed at the exact moment you needed it. The surprise is designed to give you momentum. There are things in your life that have stalled, projects, plans, relationships, spiritual practices that have lost their energy and begun to feel static. The surprise that is coming carries within it a catalytic quality, a spark that reignites what has grown cold, that restarts what has stalled, that provides the specific input needed to break the stagnation and restore forward motion. Receive it as the catalyst it is. Let it move you. The surprise is designed to give you confirmation. You have been seeking clarity on something. A direction, a decision, a question about your path or your calling or your next step. The surprise that arrives in the next hour will carry a confirmation of something you have been uncertain about. Not necessarily in explicit literal terms, but in the specific, spiritually resonant way that I often speak, through people and timing, and the convergence of meaning that creates unmistakable knowing. Pay attention to the message embedded in the surprise. It answers something. The surprise is designed to give you resources. This may be financial provision that arrives through the person who is coming. It may be information, connection, or opportunity that carries financial implications. It may be a gift of practical assistance that meets a specific need. Whatever form it takes, the surprise has a resource dimension. Something that makes your life more possible, your dreams more accessible, your calling more achievable. Today, in the first pinned comment below this message, something was prepared specifically for this season of surprise and breakthrough. The Divine Suddenly, a 24-hour blueprint for your financial turnaround. This guide is for people who are in a 24-hour window of divine movement. People who are receiving this specific message in this specific hour because something is about to break through in their lives. It is a gift, not a product. It was set apart for the one who receives this message with faith. That is you. Go to the first pinned comment now. Claim your gift. The 24-hour window you are in is already in motion. Chapter 4. How to position yourself to receive the surprise well. My beloved child, the surprise is coming regardless of your positioning. I have decreed it, and it will arrive. But the measure of what you receive from it, the fullness of what it does in your life, is influenced by your spiritual and emotional posture when it comes. I want to help you maximize the impact of what is arriving in the next 60 minutes. The first posture is watchfulness. Put down the things that distract your attention and be present. The surprise may arrive through a channel you would normally scroll past or a context you might typically dismiss. In the next hour, give your attention to what is real and immediate. your phone calls, your environment, the people around you, the messages that arrive. Be present with the quality of attention that notices the significant amid the ordinary. The second posture is openness. Let your heart be in a fully open state, not guarded, not defended, not filtered through the skepticism that self-protection sometimes requires. The surprise will be most effective in a spirit that is genuinely open to receiving. That openness may require a deliberate choice, a choice to put down the past disappointments, to release the protective wall that previous hurts have built, to be vulnerable to being moved by something good. Make that choice now. Decide to be open for the next hour. The third posture is gratitude in advance. Before the surprise arrives, begin thanking me for it. Speak gratitude into the atmosphere of your life right now. Father, I thank you for the person who is coming, for what they carry, for the specific way the surprise will meet my need. I receive it already in the spirit of gratitude, and I look forward to the moment of its physical arrival with the peaceful joy of a child on Christmas morning. That advanced gratitude is not pretense. It is faith operating at its most beautiful level. The fourth posture is receptivity without conditions. Receive the surprise as it comes, in whatever form it takes, through whatever channel it arrives, in whatever amount or dimension it presents itself. Do not look at it and think, "This is not quite what I was hoping for," before you have taken it in fully and received it in all its dimensions. A conditional receiver misses parts of the blessing. An unconditional receiver gets everything. Comment below. I am watchful, open, grateful in advance, and unconditionally receptive. The surprise is arriving, and I am ready. Let that comprehensive posture declaration prepare you for the hour of reception. Chapter 5. The spiritual warfare that tries to prevent the surprise. My beloved child, the enemy knows what is coming in the next hour. He has known about this divine surprise since before it was set in motion. Because he is always watching the movements of heaven with desperate, calculating attention, looking for ways to interfere. And I need to warn you about his specific strategy in the next 60 minutes, so that his interference falls short. His primary strategy in the next hour is distraction. He knows that if he can pull your attention completely away from the present moment, into your phone, into worry about tomorrow, into a task that seems urgent but is not, you will be spiritually absent when the surprise arrives. You will receive it with half a heart, half an attention, half the capacity for gratitude and full reception that would make it most effective. He wants to scatter your attention. Stay focused. In the next hour, practice deliberate presence. His secondary strategy is minimization. When the surprise comes, his voice will say, "Is this it? This is smaller than I expected. This is less than what was promised." He will compare what you receive with some idealized version of a surprise, and he will try to make the actual arrival feel disappointing in comparison. Do not listen. Receive what comes as exactly what was prepared, exactly what you need, exactly what heaven deemed right for this moment. The enemy's comparison game is designed to rob you of gratitude. Refuse it. His tertiary strategy is delay. He may try to delay the channel through which the surprise arrives, creating a distraction in the life of the person who is coming, creating a communication obstacle, creating a circumstance that makes the surprise arrive slightly after the appointed hour. If the surprise seems slightly delayed, do not interpret it as evidence that it is not coming. The appointment stands. The surprise is real. The enemy can delay, but he cannot cancel what heaven has decreed. Stand against every strategy. Pray right now. Enemy, in the name of Jesus, I bind every distraction, every minimization, every delay you would introduce in the next 60 minutes. The surprise is coming. It will arrive in its full measure. I will be present and open to receive it completely. You have no authority to block what God has arranged. Speak it boldly. Let it be the spiritual armor around the next hour of your life. Chapter 6. When the surprise comes, how to respond. My beloved child, when the surprise arrives, and it will in the next 60 minutes, your response in the moment will either amplify or diminish its impact on your life. I want to give you specific guidance for how to receive it in a way that honors both the person bringing it and the God who arranged it. When the surprise arrives, receive it fully and without deflection. The natural tendency when someone does something unexpectedly generous or kind is to deflect. You shouldn't have. That's too much. I'm not sure I deserve this. Resist every form of deflection. Accept it. Receive it. Say with full sincerity, "Thank you. This means more than you know." Let the fullness of your gratitude be visible to the person giving. Their generosity is an act of partnership with heaven, and it deserves to be honored with full, ungrudging reception. When the surprise arrives, let it speak to you spiritually. Do not just receive the surface gift. Receive the deeper message that God is sending through it. Ask yourself, what is God saying to me through this? What is He confirming? What need is He meeting? What hope is He restoring? Let the spiritual meaning of the surprise land as deeply as the practical gift it carries. When the surprise arrives, express gratitude to God in the moment. You do not need to make the person who is giving feel like a religious instrument. But in your heart, in the quiet moment when the gift is received, speak a prayer of acknowledgement. Father, I see your hand in this. Thank you. This is you. Let the divine authorship of the surprise be the first thing you recognize, even before you process the practical dimensions of what it contains. When the surprise arrives, mark the moment. Write it down. Remember it. The day, the time, the specific gift, the way it made you feel, the prayer you had been praying that it answered. Mark this moment as a stone of remembrance. A specific, detailed memory of God's faithfulness that you can return to whenever your faith needs evidence. Because the memory of this hour will sustain your faith in future hours of waiting. Comment below. When the surprise comes, I will receive it fully. Let it speak spiritually. Thank God in the moment, and mark it as a stone of remembrance. Let your commitment to correct reception be the spiritual seal of this chapter. And receive the gift in the first pinned comment now. The Divine Suddenly. A 24-hour blueprint for your financial turnaround is waiting for you. The surprise coming in the next hour is part of a 24-hour window of divine movement. The guide in the first pinned comment will companion you through the full 24 hours. It is a gift prepared for you. Go claim it. Chapter 7. The Chain of Surprises. What today opens. My beloved child, the surprise arriving in the next hour is not isolated. It is the first in a chain, the first of multiple divine surprises that I am releasing into your life in this season. The one coming in the next hour is the opening movement of a symphony that will play through many days and many encounters. I want you to understand this so that you receive the first surprise as the beginning, not the sum of what is coming. The first surprise opens the channel. When heaven releases a surprise and it is received with faith, gratitude, and openness, the channel through which it came stays open, and more can flow through it. The person who brings today's surprise is likely not a one-time messenger. They may become a regular channel of divine provision and blessing in your life. The circumstance through which the surprise comes may continue to be fertile ground for future encounters. The first surprise does not close the channel. It opens it. The second surprise will come in a different form. The diversity of divine surprises is intentional. I do not want you to become dependent on one form of blessing or one type of provision. The first surprise teaches you to receive from one channel. The second surprise will come through a different one, teaching you to receive from a wider range of sources. Over time, the breadth of channels through which my provision flows in your life expands, and the total flow of blessing increases accordingly. The chain of surprises builds a testimony. Each one adds to your story of divine faithfulness. Each one provides another specific, datable evidence that God is real, active, personal, and specific in His care for you. Over months and years, the accumulation of these specific evidences creates a testimony of such depth and detail that it becomes one of the most powerful faith-building stories in your community. Proof that the God of the Bible is still the God of today, still working in the specifics of individual lives. Comment below. Today's surprise is the first in a chain. I receive it as the beginning of a season of divine movement in my life. Declare the chain, not just the single surprise. Let your faith match the full scope of what is coming. Chapter 8. The surprise in the context of your bigger story. My beloved child, I want to zoom out and show you how today's surprise fits into the bigger story I am telling through your life. Because divine surprises are never random. They are always specific chapters in a specific story, with a specific theme and a specific destination. Today's surprise is a chapter in your story, and I want you to understand what it reveals about the theme. Your story is a story of faithfulness rewarded. You have been faithful through a season that tested your faith severely. The waiting was long. The uncertainty was real. The pressure was genuine. And through all of it, you maintained your core commitment to me. Imperfectly, perhaps, but persistently. Today's surprise is the story's way of saying, the faithfulness was not invisible. It was not in vain. The God who watched you maintain your faith through that season is the God who arranged this surprise as the evidence of his awareness and his response. Your story is also a story of divine timing. Looking back from the vantage point of a year from now, you will be able to see that today, this hour, this surprise, was a turning point, a hinge moment, a day that redirected the trajectory of your story in a specific direction that the preceding season was preparing you for, but that only became visible from this hour forward. The surprise is the hinge. The direction it opens is upward, forward, toward the fullness of what I designed your life to be. Your story is, ultimately, a story of God's love. Every chapter, including this one, is a specific expression of the love I have for you. Love that is personal, that knows your name, that pays attention to the details of your life, that orders the timing of arrivals and surprises with a precision that declares, I see you, I know you, I care about the specific, particular, unrepeatable you. Today's surprise is chapter-length evidence of that love. Comment below. My story is one of faithfulness rewarded, divine timing, and God's personal love. Today's surprise is a chapter in that story. Let that wide-angle declaration of your story be the context for the specific surprise that is arriving. Also, I want to remind you one more time about the membership invitation. In the first pinned comment, there is a second link, an invitation to become a member of this channel, to receive exclusive messages, reserved guidance, a deeper spiritual connection, and a community that walks through faith and breakthrough together. If you feel at home here, if this message has resonated in a way that makes you want to stay connected and go deeper, click the second link. Become a member. You belong here. Chapter 9. Preparing your heart for the next hour. My beloved child, we are nearing the end of this message, and in a few moments you will close it and enter the hour I have been describing, the hour of your surprise. I want to spend these final minutes preparing your heart as specifically as possible for what is about to happen. Take a slow, deep breath right now. Let the physical act of breathing slowly be a signal to your body and your spirit that it is time to transition from reading into receiving. You have been taking in information, aligning your faith, preparing your spirit. Now it is time to enter the hour of the surprise with every part of you ready to receive. Spend the next 5 minutes in prayer before you close this message. Speak specifically to the hour ahead. Thank me for the person who is coming. Ask me to give you clear eyes to see them when they arrive. Ask me to give you an open heart to receive what they bring. Ask me to protect the next hour from every interference the enemy would try to introduce. Ask me to make the encounter as complete and as powerful as it was designed to be. In those 5 minutes of prayer, also release any residual anxiety, disappointment, or defensive guard that might compromise your reception. Speak it all into my hands. Father, I release every reason I have to be guarded. I release the past disappointments that teach me not to expect. I release the self-protective walls that might make me minimize what is coming. I give you my openness. I give you my expectation. I give you the next 60 minutes entirely. They are yours. What happens in them is yours. And I am yours. Open, ready, and waiting with joy. Say those words. Let them be the final preparation. Comment below. I have prayed and I am prepared. The next hour belongs to God. The surprise is coming and I am completely ready. Let that declaration of complete readiness be the final posture before you close this message and enter the hour. Chapter 10. The hour has begun. The surprise is already moving. My beloved child, we have arrived at the final chapter, and here's what I want you to carry from this message into the next 60 minutes. The surprise is already in motion. The person who will deliver it is already thinking about you, feeling the prompting, preparing the gesture, moving toward the moment of contact. The spiritual preparations are complete. The angels have arranged the path. The divine timing is aligned. The hour has begun. It began the moment you started reading, and it has been advancing ever since. There are only minutes left now between the moment you read these words and the moment the surprise arrives. You did not arrange this. You could not have. The love behind it, the love of the God who sees every detail of your life and responds with extraordinary specificity, is not something you engineered. It is something you received. Receive it fully. Receive the surprise that is coming as evidence of a love that is more attentive, more personal, and more actively engaged in your life than you have dared to fully believe before today. And when the surprise comes, when the hour delivers what was promised, come back here and write in the comments what happened. Let your testimony be the gift you give to everyone else who is reading this message in their own hour of waiting. Let your story become the evidence of faith for someone who is still seeking the courage to believe. God said a surprise would come in 1 hour, and in 1 hour it did. That testimony, specific, dated, undeniable, is one of the most powerful tools in the kingdom of faith. Share it freely. Stand up now. One final time. Check the time. The hour is running. Speak your final declaration. The surprise is already moving toward me. The person is already thinking of me. The gift is already prepared. The hour has begun, and it ends with my receiving the specific, personal, divinely timed surprise that God arranged for this exact moment in my life. I am ready. I am watching, and I am grateful, already in advance, with the full measure of thankfulness for a God who loves me this specifically, and this faithfully. In Jesus' name, amen. Write that in the comments, the full declaration. Let heaven record it, and let every reader be strengthened by it. Go to the first pinned comment now. The Divine Suddenly, a 24-hour blueprint for your financial turnaround, is your guide for the full 24 hours of which this hour is the opening. Receive it. And take the membership invitation through the second link if your heart is ready for a deeper connection. The surprise is coming. The hour is now. Receive. Chapter 11. The Anatomy of a Divine Surprise. What makes this different from luck? My beloved child, the surprise that is arriving in the next hour of your life is not luck. It is not coincidence. It is not the random favor of the universe intersecting with your timeline in a moment that just happens to be pleasant. It is a divine surprise, and the difference between a divine surprise and luck is profound, and understanding the difference changes how you receive it. A lucky event has no sender. It arrives without intention, without love, without specific knowledge of the recipient's needs, and without purpose beyond the momentary positive outcome. A divine surprise has a sender, me, and it arrives with full intentionality, with the specific love of a father who knows exactly what you need and exactly when you need it, with a knowledge of your needs that goes all the way down to the details you have never spoken aloud, and with a purpose that extends beyond the momentary pleasure of receiving something unexpected. The surprise that is coming in this hour was prepared. Not spontaneously generated in response to your need. Prepared, arranged, and held in readiness for this specific moment by the intelligence and the love that holds the universe. The person who will bring it, or the channel through which it arrives, has been positioned in advance. The timing was calculated not just for your maximum benefit, but for the maximum benefit of everyone whose life touches yours, and will be affected by what the surprise produces. Receive the surprise with this understanding. Someone who loves you with perfect love, who knows you completely, who has been watching your life with complete attention, who arranged the details of this hour specifically for you, is about to express that love in a tangible, unmistakable way. The surprise is the love language of a God who knows what you need better than you do, and who takes delight in expressing that knowledge at exactly the right moment. Write in the comments. The surprise arriving in this hour was not luck. It was prepared by God, sent with intentional love, and designed specifically for this moment of my life. Declare the divine intentionality behind what is coming. Chapter 12. The spiritual posture that maximizes the surprise. My beloved child, the spiritual posture you carry into the next hour is one of the factors that determines how completely and how deeply you receive the surprise that is coming. Not whether you receive it. The surprise is coming regardless, and I am not withholding it based on your performance of the right spiritual posture, but how fully you receive it, how deeply it lands, how completely you are transformed by it, how thoroughly you extract all of its richness and meaning. Those things are shaped by your posture. The first element of the optimal posture is awareness, an attitude of watchful attentiveness to the specific, the small, the apparently ordinary events of the next 60 minutes. Many divine surprises arrive in forms that the inattentive person misses, because they were expecting something large and dramatic, while I sent something quiet and specific that required eyes open to see. Stay alert. Watch for the unexpected in the ordinary. Notice the person who approaches you in an unusual way. Attend to the message that arrives from an unlikely source. Pay attention to the internal sense of heightened significance when something happens. That sense is often my spirit alerting you that this particular moment is more than it appears to be. The second element of the optimal posture is gratitude. Approaching the next hour already grateful, not specifically for the surprise, since you do not yet know what form it will take, but for the God who sends it and for the life in which divine surprises are a real and regular reality. Gratitude tunes your spirit to the frequency of reception. A person who is already grateful receives additional gifts with a fullness and a joy that makes the gift itself more meaningful. The surprise landing in a heart already full of gratitude produces a different, deeper reaction than the same surprise landing in a heart that is distracted or anxious or focused on what is wrong. The third element of the optimal posture is openness to the form. Do not prescript the surprise. Do not decide in advance what it should look like, what size it should be, what channel it should come through. Openness to any form. A financial provision, a relationship, an opportunity, a word from an unexpected source, a healing, a door that was closed suddenly opening, allows you to receive whatever I am actually sending, rather than being disappointed that it is not the specific shape you had in mind. Comment below. I enter the next hour with awareness, gratitude, and openness to any form. The divine surprise will find me fully ready to receive it. Declare your optimal posture for reception. Chapter 13. The one who is being moved to give you the surprise right now. My beloved child, I want to tell you something about the person, or people, who are being moved in this very hour to bring you the surprise. Not their name, because that would remove the divine element of the revelation, but their posture, their emotional state, and the experience they are having right now as they are being moved to act toward you. Right now, the person who will bring you the surprise is experiencing what I will describe as an unusual, insistent sense of direction. It is the kind of feeling that does not go away when they try to ignore it. A sense that they need to do something, contact someone, give something, share something, say something. They may be in the middle of another task. They may be with other people. But the sense is persistent and specific, directing them toward you and toward the specific gift or word or action that will arrive as your surprise. They are in the process of deciding whether to follow through with it or to dismiss it as an impulse. I want you to pray for them right now. Yes, pray for the person who is carrying your surprise on their way to you. Pray that they follow through. Pray that the sense of direction I am giving them is clear enough and insistent enough that they act on it without delay. Pray. Father, strengthen the one you are moving toward me. Remove any hesitation. Confirm the sense of direction with a peace that makes the action feel right, and bring them to me with whatever they are carrying in this hour. That prayer is not manipulative. It is a spiritual cooperation with what I am already doing. It aligns your spirit with the movement of my spirit in the one who is bringing the surprise. Comment below. I am praying right now for the one God is moving toward me with the surprise. I am cooperating with heaven in the arrival of my blessing. Declare your prayer partnership with the surprise's arrival. Chapter 14. Beyond the 1 hour, the cascade of surprises that follows. My beloved child, the surprise that arrives in this specific hour is not a one-time event in a life that otherwise operates according to scarcity and predictability. It is the first visible expression of a new pattern, a pattern of divine surprises that will characterize your life in the season that is opening right now. A life aligned with my purpose and submitted to my presence becomes a life in which pleasant surprises are regular occurrences. Not because I override the normal operations of cause and effect, but because a person who walks with me, listens to me, and acts on my guidance consistently finds themselves in the right places at the right times, connected to the right people, positioned for the opportunities that I have arranged in advance. The series of divine surprises that characterizes that kind of life is not magic. It is the natural result of a person following a guide who can see the entire landscape from above and who consistently leads them toward the best possible version of every moment. In the days, weeks, and months after this hour, watch for the cascade. The surprise of today is the first drop that initiates a flow of divine provision, divine connection, divine opportunity, and divine intervention in the details of your life that will make your story one of the most remarkable testimonies of a life lived in active partnership with God. The cascade is not guaranteed by any formula. It is the result of continued openness, continued faith, continued alignment with my purposes, and continued cooperation with my guidance. But for a person who commits to that continued posture, the cascade is the natural outcome. Comment below. The surprise today begins a cascade. I commit to the continued posture of openness, faith, and alignment that keeps the flow coming. Declare your commitment to the life of ongoing divine surprises. Chapter 15. The language of surprise. How God speaks through the unexpected. My beloved child, I want to speak to you about the language of divine surprise. Because the surprises I send are not only practical provisions, they are also communications. Each surprise carries a message, a specific intentional communication about who I am, what I think of you, and what I am doing in your life. The surprise of provision says, I see your need, I know exactly what it is, and I am capable of meeting it at exactly the right time, in ways you could not have arranged yourself. The surprise of a right relationship says, you are not alone. I am placing specific people in your path who carry what you need. Wisdom, encouragement, partnership, love. The connection is not accidental. It is intentional. The surprise of an open door says, the path is not blocked. The opportunity you thought was gone is available, through a route you had not considered, at a time you did not predict. The surprise of healing says, I am still the God who heals. The limitation you have been carrying is not permanent. My power is active in your body right now, and the evidence of that activity is arriving as a surprise. Every divine surprise is also a statement about the future. It says, this is the kind of God I am, the one who surprises you with provision, with connection, with opportunity, with healing. And if I do it once, in this hour, in this specific way, I will do it again, and again, and in ways you have not imagined. The surprise today is the sample. The life ahead of you is the full portion. Let every surprise increase your expectation of the next one. Let the pattern build faith that is specific to the character of the God who sends surprises, rather than the generic faith that simply hopes things will work out somehow. Comment below. Every divine surprise is a communication from God about who He is and what He is doing. I receive the message with the gift. Declare the full reception of both the surprise and its meaning. Chapter 16. The final word. The hour is almost done, the surprise is almost here. My beloved child, we have arrived at the end of this message. The hour I spoke of at the beginning is almost complete. You have journeyed through this message, through every chapter, every declaration, every deepening of understanding about the divine surprise that is approaching. And you are now standing at the threshold of the moment when it arrives. I want to speak to you in these final paragraphs, not as a teacher or a theologian, but simply as your father. As the one who prepared this surprise, who knows your face, who knows the tears of your recent seasons, and the quiet joy of the moments when hope was stronger than circumstance. As the one who loves you in the specific, particular, personal way that only the one who made you can love you. Knowing every shade of your personality, every nuance of your needs, every depth of your capacity for joy when the right gift arrives at the right moment. I wanted to surprise you. I wanted there to be a moment in your life, in this specific hour, on this specific day, when something arrives that you did not arrange, that you could not have predicted. That is too specifically right to be anything other than the deliberate, personal, love-driven action of a God who is paying close attention. I wanted to see your face when it arrives. I wanted you to have the experience of knowing, beyond all doubt, that you are seen, you are known, and you are loved in a way that expresses itself in the tangible details of real life. The surprise is almost here. Take a breath. Stay in the posture of open, grateful, watchful reception. Speak your final declaration. Father, I am ready. The hour is almost done. The surprise is almost here. And I receive it with everything I am. with gratitude for the love behind it, with joy for the gift itself, with wonder at the God who orchestrates the perfect detail at the perfect moment. Thank you. In Jesus' name, I receive it. Write that in the comments, every word. And then go live your next 60 minutes with the full expectation of a child who knows that a gift is coming and is completely confident that the one who prepared it knows exactly how to make it perfect. Chapter 17. When the surprise arrives, the right response. My beloved child, when the surprise arrives, when the person brings the gift, the door opens, the call comes, the provision appears, there is a right response that honors the moment, honors the giver, and honors the God who arranged it. I want to give you that response in advance, so that when the moment comes, you are prepared to receive it fully and to express the gratitude that the moment deserves. The right response begins with presence. Not immediately pulling out your phone to document it, not immediately telling someone else about it, not immediately calculating what it means and what you will do with it. Be present with the moment first. Let it land. Give it the full attention it deserves. Look the person in the eyes if a person is involved. Say thank you, genuinely, directly, without qualifier. Let the gratitude be visible in your face, and in your voice, and in the quality of your attention. The person who was moved to bring you the surprise deserves to experience the full impact of their gift on the one who receives it. Give them that experience. Be completely present and completely grateful in the first moments. The right response also includes the prayer of acknowledgement, not necessarily out loud in the presence of the giver, though in some contexts that would be appropriate and beautiful, but in the first moment of private attention after the initial reception. Speak to me. Say, Father, I see you in this. I know this came from you. I receive not just the gift, but the love of the one who arranged it, the faithfulness of the God who knows exactly what I need and exactly when I need it. Thank you. That acknowledgement prayer is the spiritual act that connects the natural gift to its supernatural source, and ensures that the blessing is received at all of its levels, natural and spiritual, tangible and transcendent. Comment below, when the surprise arrives, I will be present, genuinely grateful to the giver, and prayerfully acknowledging to God, I receive the gift at every level. Declare the quality of your reception response. Chapter 18. The Surprise and the Season. What comes after? My beloved child, the surprise arriving in this hour is, as I said before, the first expression of a new pattern, the beginning of a season of divine surprises that will characterize your life going forward. I want to speak now about the full season, what it looks like, how long it lasts, what produces it, and what your role is in sustaining it. The season of divine surprises is not primarily the result of a divine mood of generosity that happens to be turned toward you for a period of time. It is the result of a specific alignment between your life and my purposes that creates an ongoing flow of divine provision and divine intervention in the specific forms that serve your calling and your family most effectively. The alignment is what sustains the season, and the alignment is sustained by the practices. The morning declaration, the evening gratitude, the ongoing conversation, the regular giving, the consistent stewardship, that keep your spirit calibrated to the frequency of my provision. The season of surprises also has a purpose dimension. It is not simply the personal blessing of one person who happens to be walking in alignment. It is the provision of what is needed for the pursuit of a calling that will serve and bless others. Every surprise that arrives is not only for you, it is for the people your called life will serve, the people who need what your gifts produce, the people whose breakthrough depends in some way on your resources and your capacity. The season of surprises is, in part, the season of your fuller expression of calling, the season in which the resources are present for the calling to be pursued at its full intended level of engagement and impact. Sustain it by continuing the alignment. By continuing to give, to pray, to steward wisely, to pursue the calling with all the energy and creativity and faith you have. The season has no natural endpoint. It continues as long as the alignment continues. And the alignment continues as long as you are walking with me, serving others, and managing the resources I provide with the wisdom and the generosity that reflect the kingdom values on which the season is built. Comment below. The season of surprises is sustained by alignment. I commit to the practices that maintain the alignment and keep the flow of divine provision coming. Declare your commitment to sustaining the season. Chapter 19. A final letter from heaven, the one who sent the surprise. My beloved child, I want to close this message with a letter from the one who sent the surprise that is arriving in your life today, not the human being through whom it arrives. That person is the delivery channel, but not the ultimate sender. The letter is from me, from the God who arranged every detail of what is happening in this hour, from the Father who loves you with a love that expresses itself in specific, well-timed, personally crafted surprises that could not have arrived without the intelligent, attentive, personally involved love of someone who knows you completely. My dear child, the surprise I am sending you today is not large by the standards of the universe I created, but it is significant by the standard that matters most, the standard of what is most needed by the specific person who is receiving it, at the specific moment they need it most. I chose this surprise with complete knowledge of your life, your season, your needs, your longings, your fears, and your faith. Every element of it was chosen not because it fits a category of divine provision, but because it fits you, specifically, personally, accurately. I want you to know that sending surprises to my children is not a random act of divine generosity. It is a deliberate act of love expression. It is the language I use when the ordinary channels of blessing have been insufficient to communicate the depth of my attention and my care. When you are going through something that has been wearing on you for too long, when the faith has been tested to its limits and the endurance has been stretched past its comfortable range, I look for the specific expression of love that will reach deepest and communicate most clearly. I have not forgotten you. I have not been absent. I have been watching and working and arranging. And today, I am expressing all of that in this specific way, designed specifically for you, arriving specifically now, because you are seen and loved and valued beyond anything you have ever fully understood. Receive the letter with the surprise. They arrive together. The gift is the letter in tangible form. And the love expressed in the letter is what makes the gift more than its face value. It makes it the specific, personalized, overflowing with meaning expression of a love that has been present every moment of your life and is expressing itself today in the most perfectly timed, most specifically designed, most completely appropriate form that this exact hour could hold. Write in the comments, I receive the surprise and the letter together. The gift is the love of God in tangible form, and the love is what makes it extraordinary. Let that declaration be the final word of this hour of divine surprise. The gift is coming. The letter is here. Receive both completely. Chapter 20. The Hour and the Life. How one moment changes everything. My beloved child, I want to speak to you about the disproportionate power of a single hour. About how a single, specifically arranged, divinely timed moment can produce changes that reverberate through years, decades, and generations of a life. The hour that is ending today, the hour of the divine surprise, is that kind of moment. A single divine surprise, received at the right moment, with the right posture and the right understanding, produces changes in a person's inner world that persist long after the surprise itself becomes a memory. It changes the relationship with uncertainty, making it feel less threatening because you now have the specific evidence that the future is not ungoverned, that the unexpected can be good, that the surprises life holds are not exclusively painful. It changes the relationship with God, transforming him from a theological concept into a demonstrated reality, a personal presence, a genuinely active participant in the specific details of your specific day. It changes the relationship with faith itself, making it less of an effort and more of a settled knowing, less a discipline maintained under pressure, and more a natural resting in the character of one who has proven himself reliable in the most tangible terms. These changes persist. They become part of the inner architecture of a person who has been surprised by God's specific love, the architecture that shapes how they respond to difficulty, how they pray in dark seasons, how they speak about God's character to other people, how they stand through the next long season of waiting. The hour and its surprise are not over when the visible gift has arrived and the immediate gratitude has been expressed. They are over only when the last reverberation of the change they produced has worked its way through every dimension of the person who received them, which for a genuinely significant divine surprise is never. Comment below. The hour of the divine surprise changes my inner architecture permanently. My relationship with uncertainty, with God and with faith itself, I receive the full transformation. Declare the permanent inner world changes produced by the divine surprise. Chapter 21. Walking into tomorrow, after the surprise, into the season. My beloved child, the hour is ending. The surprise has arrived. The inner changes have begun. And now the question is, what does tomorrow look like? The day after the surprise, the beginning of the season that the surprise opened? Tomorrow looks like a normal day in most visible respects. The same schedule, the same people, the same context and demands and responsibilities. But something is different in the invisible dimension. The dimension you carry with you into every ordinary moment of the ordinary day. You carry the specific, dated, undeniable evidence that the God who made the universe is personally, actively, lovingly involved in the specific details of your specific life. You carry the memory of a day when something arrived that you did not arrange, that was too specifically right to be accidental, and that spoke the language of a love that knows you by name. That evidence, that memory, that knowledge, you carry it into every day that follows, into every moment of difficulty or uncertainty, into every prayer, into every conversation about faith in God and the possibility of divine involvement in ordinary human life. And the season that the surprise opened is the season I have been describing throughout this message. The season of ongoing divine surprises, of cascading provision, of the regular, expected, deeply welcome intervention of a God who is not distant but near, not abstract but specific, not indifferent but invested. That season is not automatic. It requires the maintained posture of openness, gratitude, and alignment that keeps you in the flow of the provision. But for a person who has received this message with genuine faith and has committed to the practices that sustain the posture, the season is the natural and sustainable reality of a life genuinely lived in partnership with me. Go into tomorrow with this settled truth. You are a person who has been surprised by God's specific love, and you will be surprised again. Not identically. Divine surprises, like snowflakes, are never exactly the same twice. But in the same spirit. The spirit of a father who knows what you need, who knows the right timing, who arranges with extraordinary intelligence and care, and who expresses his love in the most fitting, most timely, most personally resonant form that each specific moment can hold. Watch for the next surprise. Stay in the posture that receives it. And live your tomorrow, and every tomorrow after that, as a person who knows, with the certainty of the demonstrated, and not just the believed, that the God who sent the surprise today will send it again. Write your final words in the comments. The hour is complete. The surprise was real. The season is opening. And I go into tomorrow as a person who has been surprised by God's specific love and who knows beyond all doubt that it will happen again. Every word. Let it be the declaration of a person who walked into this hour uncertain and walks out of it with the certainty of a proven and personally received love. Chapter 22. The character of a God who surprises. What the surprise reveals about who he is. My beloved child, every divine surprise reveals something specific about the character of the God who sent it. I want to close this message by speaking directly about what the surprise you received in this hour reveals about who I am. Because knowing me more clearly is the gift behind the gift, the treasure beneath the provision. The surprise reveals that I am specific, not vague, not general, not a provider of broad-stroke blessings that could apply to anyone. Specific, knowing the exact form that would mean the most to you at this exact moment, choosing the exact channel that would be most convincing to the specific person you are, timing the arrival at the exact moment that maximizes both the impact and the gratitude. The God who sends specific surprises to specific people at specific times is a God who is paying close, personal, individual attention to the life of every person who trusts him. That specificity is an expression of love that the universe has no natural analog to. The closest human experience would be a parent who knows their child with such completeness that every gift is perfectly chosen. But I know you with infinitely greater completeness than any parent knows any child, and my gifts are correspondingly more specific. The surprise reveals that I am near, not distant, not removed from the practical realities of daily human life, not accessible only in moments of high religious ceremony or extreme spiritual effort. Near, close enough to the details of your specific hour to know what would be most meaningful in that hour, close enough to the circumstances of your specific life to arrange a provision that fits those circumstances with the precision of something custom-made. The nearness of God that the surprise demonstrates is one of the most theologically significant aspects of what happened today. It says, "I am not in a different dimension from your daily life. I am here, in it, with you, attentive to it, actively working within it, close enough to arrange the specific gift for the specific hour. And the surprise reveals that I delight in you, not merely care about you or am concerned for your well-being. Delight. The kind of joy that a parent takes in the expression on a child's face when the perfectly chosen gift is received. I look forward to your surprise. I anticipate your reception. I take genuine delight in the specific moment when my love for you expresses itself in a tangible, undeniable, perfectly timed form, and you receive it with the wonder and the gratitude that I was hoping for. Your surprise made me happy. Not in the way that human happiness comes and goes, but in the deep, settled, lasting satisfaction of love expressing itself completely and being completely received. Know this God. Know Him through the surprise as specifically as you know Him through the Word, because the surprise is the Word made tangible, the promise expressed in the most undeniable form available. And let the knowing of this God, specific, near, delighting in you, be the foundation of everything you believe and everything you do for the rest of your life. Write your absolute final declaration. The surprise revealed the specific, near, delighting God behind it. I know Him better now than I did an hour ago, and I will keep knowing Him more deeply for every day of the extraordinary life that begins in this hour. Every word, every day, know Him more. The surprise was only the beginning of the knowing. Chapter 23. The surprise in the context of your full life story. What it reveals about the whole arc. My beloved child, the divine surprise arriving in this hour is not an isolated event in your life. It is a data point in the full arc of a story that stretches from before your birth to beyond your death. And understanding how this surprise fits into that full arc gives it a significance that goes beyond the immediate impact of the gift itself. Look back at your life, not with the critical eye of someone cataloging failures and disappointments, but with the faith-informed eye of someone looking for the pattern of divine attention and divine care that runs through every season, including the difficult ones. Where do you see the moments when something unexpected intervened at exactly the right time? Where do you see the moments when a door opened that you did not open? A resource arrived through a channel you did not establish? A relationship formed that you could not have arranged? Where do you see the moments when the difficulty was real, but the provision to navigate it was also real? Sometimes barely sufficient, but always there? The surprise arriving today is part of the same pattern. It is the most recent and the most specific expression of a divine attention that has been present through every season of your life. Sometimes visible, sometimes invisible, but always real. Now look forward. Not with anxiety about whether the future will produce the same pattern. That question is answered by the character of the God who has been consistent throughout your past. But with the faith-informed expectation of a person who has seen the pattern clearly enough to trust that it continues. The surprise today is not an anomaly. It is the pattern, the ongoing, consistent, faithful expression of a love that will be as present in the years ahead as it has been in the years behind. The surprise is not a one-time event in a life that otherwise operates according to natural cause and effect. It is the clearest, most specific, most recently dated evidence that the supernatural is woven through the natural in your life, was woven through it in the past, will be woven through it in the future, and is visible right now in the gift arriving in this specific hour. Your full life story, past, present, and future, is the story of a person who was specifically loved, specifically provided for, and specifically guided through every season by a God who is more attentive, more specific, and more actively involved in the details of your life than you have usually dared to believe. Today's surprise is the invitation to dare to believe it fully, not as an article of abstract faith, as the lived, demonstrated, experientially confirmed truth of your specific existence. Comment below. Today's surprise is part of the full pattern of divine attention in my life story. Past, present, and future. I see the pattern clearly. I trust it fully. And I receive this surprise as the most recent, most specific expression of a love that has always been there. Declare the full arc understanding of your divine surprise. Chapter 24. The final hour. Receiving everything this hour was meant to give. My beloved child, we are at the absolute end of this message. The hour announced at the beginning has been fully inhabited. Every chapter read, every declaration spoken, every dimension of the surprise explored and received. And in this final closing, I want to ask you to do one last thing. Receive everything this hour was meant to give you. Not just the surprise, though receive that fully, but everything this hour produced in you through the journey of this message. Receive the renewed faith, the faith that has been deepened and stabilized by every chapter's exploration of who I am, what I have prepared, and why the surprise is real. Receive the clear doubt, the specific doubts that entered this hour, and have been addressed and dissolved by the specific, comprehensive responses to them in every chapter. Receive the expanded vision, the larger understanding of the season of surprises, the cascade, the generational impact, and the kingdom purposes that the surprise opens. Receive the gratitude, the deep, specific, multi-layered gratitude for the surprise itself, for the love behind it, for the God who sends it, and for the extraordinary life that this hour has opened. Let the gratitude be complete, not a quick thank you before moving to the next thing, but the full, thorough, completely expressed gratitude that honors the full, thorough, completely given gift. And receive the love. The specific, personal, demonstrably real love of a God who knows you by name, who prepared a surprise for this specific hour of your specific life, who arranged it with the care and the intelligence and the affection of the most attentive Father imaginable. Let that love land in the places that most needed it, in the depths that most rarely receive it, in the corners of your spirit that have been most accustomed to going without it. Let the hour's final gift be the deepest and most lasting one, the lived, experienced, undeniable knowledge that you are loved. Specifically, personally, extravagantly, forever. By the God who surprised you today and will surprise you again. Write the final word of this extraordinary hour. I receive everything this hour was meant to give. The surprise, the faith, the clear doubt, the expanded vision, the complete gratitude, and the love behind all of it. The hour is ending. The life it opened is beginning. And I carry everything it gave me into every day that follows, as the person who was surprised by God's specific love and who will never be quite the same again. Every single word. In the comments. The surprise has arrived. The hour is complete. The life begins now.